Wix Studio, the platform for agencies and enterprises to manage clients and projects with max efficiency, sharing Wix's SEO tech to help you drive growth.
Fix errors, waste, and issues in a couple of clicks. Get alerted whenever you're off track. Sign up at trueclicks.com.
Hi everyone, thank you. I do want to caveat that and say I work remotely and I don't just do like office snapping. That would be unsociable. Today I'm going to be talking about WhatsApp automation, and I'm afraid I'm starting with some really sad news to any email marketers that are in the room. Emails are dead, and there's quite a good reason as to why I personally have put this statement in here. So the average open rate for an email is 34%, and this comes from MailChimp, so that's obviously quite an accurate resource to look at the stats from. Whereas the average open rate for a WhatsApp message is 78%, so there's a massive difference there. This is based on our data, which we will talk about later on in the presentation. And hopefully by the end of this, I'm going to convince you to start using WhatsApp automation because it really is fantastic. So let me share our story as to how we got into WhatsApp automation and how we got here essentially. So I work for an agency called Annika Digital, and we are a digital skills bootcamp provider. So for anybody that isn't quite aware of what that is, it's a government scheme. As you can imagine, it's full of red tape and lots of things that make my job very difficult. You can do skills boot camps in coding, all sorts of things. But for Annika, we teach digital skills, just like everybody in here knows today, to get people up to scratch and to get people in employment or to get people better jobs. So we recruit our students through Meta lead generation ads. Hopefully you guys joined my colleague Jordan's talk earlier where he spoke about lead generation and Meta. So we spend quite a lot of money on Meta lead generation ads, and we get thousands of leads. So that's our main source of how we recruit students for this course. And it works really well, but there are some issues. And one of them is there is a very, very long application form. So it's a 13-page Google document that somebody needs to go through. And there's a lot of information that you need in there. So your passport number, your national insurance number, all those things are very considered, and you need to take some time out of your day to think, okay, I'm going to apply for this and get all these documents together and fill out that application form. But not only is it a long application form, it's also a really long application process. So the user comes through a lead gen form, they then have to fill out that really big application form. Then they need to go through an eligibility check to see whether they can actually join the course, whether they've been here for 3 years, that sort of thing. We ask them to do a diagnostics check to see what skill level they're at before they join the course. Then they have a screening interview. And then finally, weeks later, they sign their contract and enroll. And this was quite long, me telling you this. So imagine actually going through that process and trying to generate leads for this sort of thing. It is very difficult, makes my job very hard, as you can see. So this is me wondering, why isn't anything working? And this is my dog literally thinking about sausages and stuff that she likes. This funny story, actually. My colleague Emil took this picture and I didn't realise he took it. I was on a client call here. Look how miserable I look. And he put it in our Teams chat and he was like, get this on social. There's a dog in the office. And I was like, please don't put that on social. Look, I'm miserable as sin. So it wasn't working for us. So we really needed to try and improve conversions. So we tried loads of things. We tested multiple different lead gen forms. So asking different questions, asking more questions, asking less questions. I kind of got to my limit there and I was like, I'm stuck. Can't really do much more. We spent more money on lead generation ads. This is not really what you want to do, but we got to that point where we were desperate. We were thinking, if we just get more leads to begin with, maybe then we'll get more applicants eventually. Don't recommend that, but you know, desperate times, desperate measures. And then we were also manually chasing leads via phone or email. And our team, we're a digital marketing agency. Our team aren't equipped for this sort of thing. It was just something that we tried to get people over the line, get them converting, because there was such a big drop-off rate between the Meta lead gen forms that came in and those people that filled out the application forms. So we decided to look more into the consumer journey, see if there's anything that we can improve there, because obviously it's very long, very difficult. We do automate our journey through Zapier. And as you guys in here know, Zapier is an automation platform where you can connect multiple apps together. And it was a very simple process that these users were coming through. So they would come in through a lead generation ad. Their numbers would then be formatted so that it was like the same sort of format, essentially. The date and time was formatted, and then they went into a Google Sheet. So this is where we store all of our lead generation information. And they also received an outbound email. So this is where the user was receiving the full application form for them to apply. They also could access the application form at the end of the lead gen ad that they've submitted. But we knew that wasn't ideal because somebody's going to click on that, realize how long and awful that form is, and then click off and forget about it. So that's why we sent an email through Zapier as well. But we had an issue. Nobody was reading their emails. And if you're anything like me, I actually got this off the internet. My unread emails is in the 40,000s. I don't know if I'm one of a kind or whether I'm just really unorganized. But people weren't opening their emails, or the emails were going into spam. So really, people weren't receiving the application form. They applied for this and then they heard nothing from us because they either didn't see our emails or it was going into trash. So we decided to use WhatsApp to send these leads to. And this is where our journey with WhatsApp automation started. So we learned about WhatsApp automation for another talk very similar to this. And somebody was doing it for his business and we thought, that's amazing. We could do that for Annika. So instead of relying on just emails for people to find the application form, they will now receive it as a WhatsApp message as well. So they get an email, they could access it from the end of the lead gen form, and obviously now a WhatsApp message. And I'm sure it's a bit divisive. You might think, oh, that's a bit invasive. I don't want people to start WhatsApping me. But it's really useful when you're expecting a message. So if anybody's ever booked an appointment, you get a reminder through your SMS, or potentially you've ordered something and they send you updates through text, that's really useful. So we were applying that same sort of logic to this application form. So in total, this is, we've been running this for quite a long time now. I'd probably say 6 months. In and out. It's not constant. We do it every few months. We have sent 4,500 messages. Nearly all of them were delivered. 78% of them were opened, and 9% have responded. So these stats are insane when you compare them to email marketing. I just want to explain what some of these mean. So delivered means that somebody has allowed that message to come through. So if you receive a message from somebody that's not in your contacts on WhatsApp, you get a little pop-up saying, blah, blah, sent you a message. Do you want to accept it? So these people have accepted. So it has delivered to their mobile. Read, obviously, they've read the message. Replied is one of the most interesting things that I've learned from this. So we're giving people the opportunity to have a two-way communication with us. So people might see this message, somebody might see this ad on Facebook, apply for it and think, oh, is that right for me? Is it a scam? We get a lot of those sorts of messages. So they have an opportunity here to ask any questions that they might need to. How long is the course? Is it free? Am I eligible? So we reply to those and naturally filter them out. So obviously if it's relevant to them, they will go on and fill out the application form. If it's not relevant to them, they stop here and that's the end of their journey, and that's okay. So since implementing WhatsApp automation, 20% of the leads turn into applications. And as you guys know, that's a 13-page Google Doc. So that, to me, is a really good stat. We've seen a massive improvement compared to what we saw beforehand. And then 10% of the initial meta leads eventually turn into students. So they obviously have to go through a lot of screening processes where there's factors out of our control and out of their control, which means they're either eligible or not eligible to join. But this was a really good improvement on what we were seeing before we implemented WhatsApp. So how do I do it? So this is the platform we use. It's a customer engagement platform. So you need to have one of these platforms to be able to use WhatsApp messaging. This only uses WhatsApp messaging. I'm sure there's other platforms out there which enable this same sort of communication. This is called Whatty.io. It's amazing. It's great if you're a beginner. So there's loads of guided setups and learning resources there. I've never done this before, so it was all new to me. Everything is self-taught. So if you're like a medium-sized agency or you have a small marketing team and you think, are we technical enough for this? You are, because you can learn it all yourself and do it. So loads of blogs on there to help you, step-by-step guides, loads of videos. It also integrates into loads of other platforms. So as you can see here, the key ones, Shopify, Facebook, Google Sheets, WooCommerce, Zapier, WhatsApp Shop. If any of those are platforms that you use, it can integrate really seamlessly and easy into those. So the ones that we use, Facebook, Google Sheets, and Zapier for our student recruitment. It's very affordable. So we pay £360 a year. That is obviously very cheap. You don't have to pay a lot. For this, obviously, depending on the size of your business, this will change. But we pay £360 a year, and that works for us. It's perfect for what we need it for. But I do want to say that there are some things that you need to take into consideration before you launch WhatsApp for Business. So you need to be verified in Meta. So this is different to having a blue tick or being verified as a page or a profile. This is your business manager that needs to be verified. So I think you need to provide some sort of like tax information or information to prove that your business is real. So once you're verified, you can then connect to the WhatsApp for Business API. So you do have to have this enabled beforehand. It's not very hard. After you've done this, you can connect WhatsApp's API and then start to use Whatty. Don't spam. So when I first did this, I haven't learned this myself, thankfully, but when I first started doing WhatsApp automation, somebody said to me, if you start spamming people and get really negative feedback for your messages, your business manager will be impacted. So that's your Meta ads. And ultimately, nobody wants that to happen because that's horrendous. So try not to spam people. Make sure that your messages are really valuable, really worthy, and people will find them useful. So maybe urge on the side of caution when doing WhatsApp messaging. Try not to sell, try not to do marketing, because as we looked at that meme before, it is a bit invasive. People chat on WhatsApp to their friends, their family, they send memes. They don't want to be sold to through WhatsApp. So really, please do try not to spam. You should obtain consent. So let people know that you're planning on messaging them through WhatsApp. So when people apply through our Meta lead gen form, we say you will receive an email and you receive a WhatsApp with the application form. So people are knowing that it's coming, they're expecting it. And when you're expecting it, obviously you're going to respond positively to it because it's useful. You're not being harassed. Conversations do need to be engaged with. So you can't just leave people on red. Don't be ghosting people. People want to have a two-way communication here. So they're going to be asking questions and you need to be available for these people to get the answers they need. So something that is very important on Whatty is that conversations expire after 24 hours. So if somebody's messaged you and you don't get back to them, that expires and you can't communicate with them again until they message again. So you might have lost that lead, they might have gone, they might have had a bad experience. So you do need to have somebody available within your team. So it could go to somebody in your customer service team, it could be somebody in your marketing team, but you do need to have somebody available, and you do get quite a lot of messages. People don't realise that it's automated. People still think that the WhatsApp messages are from a person. So we sign off our WhatsApp message with Lucy's name, who manages all of our boot camps. So any sort of information that we send out, it'll say, "Thanks, Lucy, training boot camps manager." People will respond saying, "Hi, Lucy," and ask their question. So I need to respond back to that and say, "Hi, Rich from Annika here. Let me answer that for you." So it is a human type conversation. People don't think they're speaking to bots or anything, which is really nice because as you see on Facebook, people just think they're talking to robots and they're rude to you. But WhatsApp's different to that. It's quite nice. Okay, so how does this fit in with our customer journey now? We are still using Zapier. Zapier is the foundation of all of our WhatsApp automation at Annika. So they still go through the original steps that we saw. So the lead gen form comes in, the numbers get formatted, the date and time gets formatted, the information goes into a spreadsheet, and this is what all of our team use. We do a lot in Google Sheets. They get their email sent out through Zapier, so all of that is the same before. But the two steps that we've added in now, so we've added a contact into Whatty, so that's their phone number, their name, I think that's kind of it, the course that they've applied for. and then they get sent a WhatsApp message. So very simple edit to Zapier, just adding those final 2 bits in there. WhatsApp is really useful for so many businesses. So obviously I've spoke today about lead generation, but you could use it for e-commerce. So if you have people placing orders, you could send them automated order updates. You could let them know when something's back in stock. If you're a service-based business, you could help. That could help you manage appointments, send people appointment reminders. If you're fundraising and charity, you could communicate to people through WhatsApp. And there's so much more. Obviously, today it's been very heavy, like a case study, but I just wanted to share our story of how we got into WhatsApp automation, the impact it's had on our business. I have a longer presentation, which tells you exactly how to do everything. So at the end, we have a speaker deck link. Go into that speaker deck link and you'll see all of these slides that you've just seen. And then underneath that, it's the more technical how-to. And there's some additional slides in there, which tells you how to automate your Google Sheets and essentially how to automate everything. So it's very useful. It's transformed the way that we do our student recruitment. And hopefully it's inspired some of you in here to start using WhatsApp automation. If you're struggling with maybe email marketing, this could be another channel for you guys to look at. But thank you very much for having me.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.
Demand Sphere. Limitless visual insights from the SERPs. Unlimited dashboards and users. Easy to use and easy to scale your growth to new levels.